The new Entrepreneur Show is sponsored by Statewide Insurers Group. As an independent agency, we can shop your insurance needs for the best coverage and the best value. Also sponsored by the Small Business Centers of Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Community Colleges, as well as the Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship.
Good evening. Welcome to the new Entrepreneur Show. I am Fred George, your host, and today as a guest, I have Kevin McLaughlin. Kevin is the founder, the dreamer who dreamed the dream, the founder, the operator, the owner of Larema Coffee Shop, a great venue here in Rocky Mount. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you, Fred. Good to be here.
Thanks. So we're talking to various entrepreneurs to teach people what it takes to open a store or a business of any sort. And different entrepreneurs go into business and exemplify different strengths, different traits that make an entrepreneur successful. Kevin's got a couple of them. The two P's really, which is preparation and passion. And Kevin, I guess to start with, I don't think you have a passion for pouring a dark bitter liquid into a cup. What gives you your passion for running a coffee shop? What are you passionate about as far as that space and that business?
To me, the main thing is bringing people together, and coffee has a unique way of doing that. To me, the coffee shop is a dynamic space. It's a laid-back way for people that might not otherwise come into space together to, cross paths, maybe have a conversation, maybe just be alone by themselves, but have a sense of belonging. And the more I learned about coffee, the more I loved it, and the capacity for bringing people together is the main thing that drew me to get into the industry.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful shop. If you haven't been there yet, it's a beautiful coffee shop. You actually built it with your own mitts. You did some of the actual construction, didn't you?
Yes. It's a historic bank building from 1910 in downtown Rocky Mount.
It's beautiful.
Originally the First National Bank. It's about 1,700 square feet of space, and it took us over a year to renovate. Peeled back a lot of layers. There were 5 layers of flooring on top of the original tile and hardwood. Took down a bunch of walls and ceilings just to expose the beautiful historic components, and then restore that and build new. So it came a long way, and I'm honored to have been a part of that process.
That's great, and the results are great. Go by there. So your passion, your dream to open this business, which is where everything starts. Nothing starts until there's a dream, especially a risky, crazy, no map for it thing like opening a business on your own, because nothing prepares you for it. When did the seed of that dream start? When did you say, maybe I'll open a coffee shop?
It first came to me in 2006. I was hanging out at a coffee shop in my undergraduate university town. I was new to that place, didn't have a lot of friends, didn't really feel like I totally fit in with a lot of the student body, so I just said, hey, let me go to this place, and everyone there was very open and friendly to me, and before I knew it, I was spending a lot of my free time there, and I just noticed that I felt very creative there. I was doing all my schoolwork there, meeting up with new friends, just became my hangout spot, and I just noticed that people just happened to come together there, and it was, laid back, inviting. There were, a lot of pieces of art on the walls. They did live music. It was just this dynamic cultural meeting point for that community, and that really attracted me, and I thought maybe one day I could try to create something like that.
That's great. So is it more about the space and community than about the actual drinks you're serving?
I think it is, but the drinks, the foods, they kind of serve as a center point and bring people in, and I think it's important that they're fresh, healthy, well done. I want to be very thoughtful about every product that we're creating, because if you're thoughtful about the whole business and making it welcoming and accessible to everybody, that level of detail and mindfulness needs to come all the way down to the level of your product, and that commitment to quality, it shows, and people notice how much you care about what you're doing.
Absolutely. I went to Larema a week or two ago, and I hadn't had lunch yet, and I eat a lot of meals, and I was starving, and so I figured I'd order soup. Can't go too far wrong with soup, and it was delicious. And I asked Kevin, where did you get the soup? Because a lot of times in a coffee house kind of a place or a smaller restaurant, they just buy it frozen, heat it up, and dish it out to a bowl for you. And that soup was house-made, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Crazy. It was delicious. So Kevin's very much about the details. Larema now is very much about the details, because it's its own thing now. It's not just you. It's now you've given birth to a child. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like the process was long, because you started 14 years ago with the dream. Walk our viewers through the steps from thinking, hey, this would be a cool business. Where did you go? And at first it's just dreaming and thinking, and at some point it becomes preparation and planning. Can you walk us through those steps?
Sure. So a lot of my background is in community development. I was in college for a public administration degree and went on to do a master's in public administration.
Wow.
Mostly focused on local government management and, like I said, community development, just looking at a whole community, and the capacity for bringing people together is very much tied into that. So I see the coffee house as kind of a small city, and I see it as having an important role to play in a community. So I just, from a professional background standpoint, without me knowing it, I was going toward this eventual opening of a coffee house, but the education piece is the most important, just having that foundation and understanding what I was getting into. So traveling is also very important to me. Went around the world to study coffee, 7 different countries.
7 countries.
Where coffee is grown, and just to learn about that process, and even spent some time volunteering on a coffee farm in Colombia, just to get my hands on that work and stand side by side with the farmers who are just working so hard year round. It gives you a greater appreciation for what you're involved in. So just getting to know, the education base that takes you far, and then throughout the years, just working at different coffee shops. Once I saw this dream might be a nearer term thing than some far off one, I said, hey, let me start working a few nights a week on top of my 9 to 5 at a local coffee shop. So I first started that in 2014, and worked at a bunch of others over the years, as well as a lot of different restaurants, to get to know the industry personally, so I could learn a lot of those lessons that I knew would come in handy if I was to go down this path.
That is a lot of preparation. So you like to be in the coffee shops. You felt welcome there. You thought it'd be fun knowing something like that. Between then, the beginning of liking coffee shops, and even starting to look at locations, you've worked at coffee shops and restaurants, learned about the business. You traveled the world, which I'm sure wasn't just to tour coffee, but coffee producing regions, and met some of the people. You did some volunteer work at a coffee farm. Do they call them farms? Mm-hmm. Is it a farm ranch? Okay.
Farm.
Coffee farm in Colombia. I guess picking the beans with Juan Valdez, or That's crazy.
Yep.
So you educated yourself on the entire process, really, from plant to cup of golden latte. That's a lot. That is a lot of preparation. It's more than I've ever put into a business, to be quite frank. That's impressive. And it's important to know your business. And I bet not a lot of people who open coffee shops know more about coffee from start to finish than you do. You've gotten that education. Mm-hmm. When did you've traveled the world, you've learned about coffee. When did you decide Rocky Mount was the market you were going to open up in, and how did you come to that decision?
I started looking for locations in 2014, kind of in an informal way. Really had the business plan written by that point. as I was simultaneously, like I said, working in different coffee shops and getting to learn how different places did it. So started looking for a location. For various reasons, had a hard time finding one. You know, a few years go by, I'm continuing to work and learn. And yeah, the triangle just kept getting bigger and busier and
more expensive.
you know, more expensive. So that was definitely part of the equation. A lot more coffee shops kept popping up. I've been in Durham most of the last 10 years, and that's really where I was looking to do this first. But you know, the more I searched, the more I had trouble finding a location. So I started to look outside the triangle a little bit, and I happened upon Rocky Mount. A friend of a friend has some old buildings downtown, and I just came out here with an open mind. Really like what I found. I'm very much into historic preservation and buildings that tell a story. I knew I wanted to be a part of that, you know, honoring the past and contributing to the next chapter. Nice. You know, in Rocky Mount, it's a wonderfully diverse place, and I just noticed that there weren't a lot of intersection points for the various communities that have always existed in Rocky Mount. And like I said earlier, the coffee house to me just happens to be a space where, you know, different kinds of people can come together, and our offerings are quite a range. So, you know, we've got breakfast and lunch and coffee and tea and kombucha, and, you know, in the evenings we've got live music, beer, wine, dessert. We keep long hours, and basically we're just, the whole ethos of the thing is that it's for everyone, and the life of the coffee house is the very people that fill it. So yeah, the more I saw the more I learned about Rocky Mount, the more I noticed that my vision for this thing happened to align very well with what I learned Rocky Mount needed. So I just kept meeting with more people, getting to know the community more, and the alignment was just so strong I couldn't pass it up.
That's great, and Rocky Mount's a great and vibrant community, which brings us, and we're getting close to the break. But you know, we talked about passion, and Kevin's got passion for his business. You need that to succeed in business. If you're not passionate, you're not going to be successful. We're talking about preparation. 6 years of preparation. That's a lot of preparation. And then the third one that I didn't know you would exemplify as a businessman, because we haven't talked about this one in detail, you've been looking for doing site selection since 2014. So 6 years of site selection. That's a lot of patience. And particularly in negotiations, patience is key. If you're looking for a location, negotiating a lease, finding a lease, you can't fall in love with the first place and just jump on it. So, yeah, that's impressive. Now, after the break, we're going to talk more. You know, we've got the coronavirus thing going on right now. We're going to talk a little bit with Kevin about that, about the challenges of small businesses in general, and Larema in particular. Brand new shop, just opened, designed around sit down, and with what's going on right now, there is no sit down. So that's a huge challenge. I know it's on your mind. It's on every businessman's mind. I'm in retail. It's on my mind. We may be shut down any minute. So we're going to talk some about that, some of the current events with entrepreneurship and business ownership in North Carolina. And we'll be back after that. And we should be about out of town.
The new Entrepreneur Show is sponsored by Statewide Insurers Group. As an independent agency, we can shop your insurance needs for the best coverage and the best value. Also sponsored by the Small Business Centers of Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Community Colleges, as well as the Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship.
Good evening. Welcome back to the new Entrepreneur Show. We're back with Kevin McLaughlin of the Larema Coffee House. We got some pictures that you sent in of Larema, and we'd love to have you walk us through them. Tell us about the store, not a store, about the coffee house, about your dreams for it, the menu, how people can order online right now. Anything you want to tell us about the store. So can we pull up some of those pictures?
All right, there's me doing a pour over. Like I said earlier, a lot of attention to detail. Every little adjustment to the grind setting makes a big difference. But the big thing that my driving principle for the whole business is being mindful and thoughtful in every little detail that we're doing, knowing that this coffee or this food, becomes part of someone, and that's important to us. So we want to take care of every guest that walks in the door.
And it's delicious. You could taste the difference.
This is a zoomed out image of the building, 3-story building. Like I said, built in 1910, originally a bank there on the first floor. Actually, a little known secret, down in the basement, they made liquor during Prohibition. So it had a speakeasy going on down in the basement, which is really neat.
Nice.
Second floor was a furniture company. And so a big component of our business is events. This is a local band that had a packed house for their album release a few months ago. It was absolutely beautiful. We've got monthly jazz night. This is an image from one of the jazz nights a local band plays. Rocky Mount is the hometown of jazz legend Thelonious Monk, so we take great pleasure and honor in celebrating jazz in downtown Rocky Mount, as we think that's very important. So this is a popular dish at our spot. It's avocado toast with a couple of poached eggs on there. We partner with local farms to bring in all the produce. Local baker makes the bread. That's from Alimentaire in Tarboro.
Wow.
Everything we do, to the extent at all possible, we're partnering with local people to make that happen. That's me with our 100 sanitation rating, something I'm very proud of. We keep the space very clean, and in my interest in partnering with everyone, I reached out to the health inspector early on in our process and invited her to do walkthroughs throughout our build-out to make sure that we were doing everything by the book, and I think that is what led to us getting a stellar rating there.
It's so important in the modern environment.
Mm-hmm. So there's one of the soups Fred mentioned. This one was a turkey stew we had going a few months ago, but like I said, we're just fresh, healthy, local ingredients, very thoughtful about everything we offer.
That looks tasty.
This is a picture of our retail shelving, almost entirely locally sourced goods, either here in Rocky Mount or in the Triangle. We've got a wide variety of things: t-shirts, pottery, tea, coffee, peanut butter, all kinds of stuff that we use in our cooking and offer to the community. There's an image of a couple of our featured lattes. We're always putting out new drinks and always wanting to be creative in what we're doing. So yeah, to the extent possible, we're just coming up with new ideas and always checking in with our guests on what they like and what they might like to see.
And are those cups just for the picture, or are those the actual cups you use in Larema?
Those are our mugs that we use. My friend Hamish Jackson made those over in Pittsburgh, North Carolina.
Those are beautiful.
And they are now for sale, actually. He just made another batch, and we're pleased to offer those for purchase.
Nice.
This is the chef salad. Again, just wanting to be healthy and offer a range of items. So, most of this stuff comes from a local farm called Lake Valley Farms, located between Rocky Mount and Tarboro. We recently did a pop-up farmers market. One of the benefits of our space being the size that it is, we can do a lot of different kinds of events. So in talking with the local farms that we partner with, 2 of them I invited to do a pop-up farmers market, being especially that the very popular Nash County Farmers Market has been closed for the winter, of course. We had a great time and a great turnout for that a few weeks ago. All right, there's another image of some of our offerings, a couple of latte drinks, toast. We do a lot of different spreads on our toasts, and a cup of soup there as well. So we've got a monthly karaoke night, and it's just amazing the diversity in Rocky Mount, as I said earlier. And karaoke is always a great example. It's just all kinds of folks coming together and having a great time. And all at once, at one of our karaoke nights, a young woman asked me if she could bring in a cake because it was her father's birthday. I said, yes, of course. And next thing you know, they're lighting candles on 2 cakes, and the entire place turns from focused on karaoke to singing happy birthday to this gentleman. So it's just a beautiful moment, and honestly, I was quite honored to have a front row seat. And here's a similar thing, a secret birthday. This gentleman is a regular, and he called me and he said, hey, it's my girlfriend's birthday. Would you put together a little assortment, and I'm going to bring her by at such and such time. And he said it meant the world to her, and I was happy to have been a part of that as well.
That's nice.
This is a picture of some of the plants in our windows. I think plants are beautiful and bring a lot of life to a space. The first thing that attracted me to this particular space is that it's a corner unit, so it's got nearly floor to ceiling windows on 2 of the walls, so it's just the natural light floods into the space, and the plants are very happy. And again, partnering with local folks, 3 local potters made all the pottery, and the pot and plant combinations are for sale as well.
I think that green table is the one that Sandra and Cindy and I sat at the first time we met you. They had those golden lattes. They still talk about them.
Yep. All right. Another recent event, and this was a really powerful one. The 3 top law enforcement officials for Rocky Mount, so the city police chief and the county sheriffs for both Nash and Edgecombe counties, reached out to me and wanted to do a community conversation where those 3 top law enforcement officials would just come into the space for an hour and a half on a Thursday morning, invite the public to come and just chat with them, ask questions. It wasn't like a panel discussion. It was just a mix and mingle, and it was very well attended. Everyone had a great time. Just a chance for the community to give some feedback and ask questions of their law enforcement officials, and also for the law enforcement to get a better sense of what the community wants and needs and how they are perceiving them. So. This is a couple of people working on their laptops. We've got very strong Wi-Fi and want to be a great place to work from home, which has become more and more popular. We also have a lot of students from Wesleyan and Edgecombe Community College, which is right across the street from our location, come over and work on their laptops, so we welcome that. There's another jazz evening, which is always a great time, well attended. And in the background, a local artist named Katrina Williams, she did a couple of pieces for us that highlight the countries where coffee is exported from, so that there's a map of the globe there. This is our back bar. Up there, top middle, is a painting by Rebecca Watkins. She has a studio in Bel Air Art Center in downtown Rocky Mount, and she did a Thelonious Monk painting. It's absolutely beautiful and quite a presence there. So here's another image. As you walk in the front door, if you were to look to your left, this is what you would see. This was a few weeks ago on a Saturday morning.
It's just beautiful.
Gentleman playing a little acoustic guitar. Just a nice Saturday morning. A lot of, like I said, natural light and just good energy. Another evening, a few weeks ago, we had the Chamber of Commerce did a business after hours, just a social networking event, had a couple local live musicians perform. These are Wesleyan International students. We did a community spotlight where we invited 4 students from 4 different continents to share about their, home, where they come from, to kind of talk about, their journey coming to the U.S., just give a chance for the community to learn more about the world, and also for the community to show its support and appreciation for our international student neighbors.
Well, let's get off the pictures for a minute. That's beautiful. And just come back to us. We have about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk to people about how they can order coffee. Now, right now, as everybody knows, you can't sit down and eat or drink coffee. It has to be a huge challenge because your coffee's wonderful, the food's wonderful, but the space is the big draw. If I wanted to get coffee from you, is there a way to order online? Do I call? Do I drop by? Are you still open? Let our folks know how to get some of this.
Yes, thank you. It has been a big challenge. I mean, like I've said, the space is mostly, what this business is all about. So it's been very hard for us, but we've quickly adjusted, and we encourage people to call in, or you can still come in, and items have to be to go. So our phone number is 252-316-8394. Please feel free to call in an order. We'll even meet you outside at your car and process payment there.
That's 316
8394.
316-8394 to call Larema. You open 7 days a week?
Yes.
All right, so that's the number. You can call, run in, pick it up, maintain social distancing, use your debit card, run back out. You can get some of this great coffee. What else do people need to know in the couple of minutes we have left?
We're very active on social media, Facebook, Instagram, at Larema Coffee. Always keeping people updated about what we're doing. Our website is laremacoffee.com. My email address is kevin@laremacoffee.com. If you have any questions or would like to partner or collaborate on anything, we're very open to that and interested in being a good community partner.
And Larema Coffee is a treasure, absolute treasure of the Rocky Mount area. It's brand new if you haven't been there. We need, in this time when everybody's suffering, we need to, if I can be so bold, avoid the big chain drive-throughs. Take your restaurant business when you have $1 or $2 to eat out or drink out, take it to the locals. Taco Bell's not going away. That Star thing, coffee place isn't going away. But a lot of our lovely, special, local businesses, the things that make Rocky Mount what it is, and that we talk about and that add to our quality of life, a lot of those are in danger of going away forever. And so I would encourage you, I think Kevin, you'd agree, shop local. Whatever you're getting, if you're going to get coffee, get it someplace local. If you need to go out to eat, go someplace local. Some communities pull together in difficult times, some fight with each other. Let's pull together, keep Larema in business, to keep all the other local places in business. That'll add to our quality of life, and it keeps the money right here and makes us all more prosperous and happy.
Definitely. And I just want to mention, Larema means my friend in a language in northern Uganda where I traveled. And it's just meant so much that in this time with the virus and everything, it's been so hard on small businesses, but it's meant so much, the community support and all the love that has been shown to us. So I'm just thankful, and that Larema means my friend. It's that the community is our friend, and that we want to be a space for the community. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported us. Please continue to do so. Please tell your friends, and we hope to see and serve you very soon.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thanks for being on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
The new Entrepreneur Show is sponsored by Statewide Insurers Group. As an independent agency, we can shop your insurance needs for the best coverage and the best value. Also sponsored by the Small Business Centers of Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Community Colleges, as well as the Eastern North Carolina Center for Business and Entrepreneurship.